Hey there, traders. Nick Shaheen here, recapping the levels from today. You probably already know by now. Every day I send out daily levels, so obviously they're updated daily, as to the ranges of some popular tickers that we trade. And they can serve as great guidelines to whoever is actually actively trading throughout the day. This doesn't have to be via credit spreads, which I like to do, but they apply to anything. So if you're going long, short, you're protecting some long, some short, some options plays or whatever. And every day I like to circle around and see how well we did forecasting the day. So the note would look like this. That's the bottom end of the note. The whole top of the end is actually a write-up as to what I heard overnight, what we're coming into. So it's kind of like a guideline. So I cut and paste a few things just to make it easy for us. And this up here obviously is the SPX. We have the range. This is what happened today. That's October 3rd, 2014. It was a big market up day, kind of a relief pop, but one that may have some legs actually, but not too many. We'll see. Monday headlines were still anyway. Sentiment is what changed today, but I have a whole video about that. But here we're just reviewing the ranges. SPX before the open, I said that 1950 is still the line in the sand, and we were just under that based on the open interest. So I said it's almost of equal weight for bulls and bears, so the fight will be fair as long as headlines stay calm. And the headlines did not stay calm. They kind of swayed the bears because they came out with good economic news for the month, and then they reviewed the past month as far as labor is concerned. So I said this includes the economic numbers as far as headlines. No support until 1940 and 35, no resistance past 1950. I said 1965 maybe a small resistance, and look at where it closed, 1967.9. So the resistance lines they're like rubber bands. Nobody can forecast it to the penny, although we sometimes do. But it's a rubber band. So if you're holding in 1970, you know that you got a cushion between 1965 and 70. And I have some people that held the 70 and made some money on that over actually in the last hour of the couple hours of the market. So no clear lines of resistance until other than the market sentiment itself. So the exuberance and how well they're going to go. Now, the sister of the SPX, let's see here, there we go, the SPY. And pre-open again, I said 196.5, and it was way lower than that, right? 196.5 is still the start of strong support. What does that mean? We were already below it. I said, so the headlines aside, bulls will want to try to reach for it today. So bulls will want to try to reach for it today. And sure enough, the first stop was at 196.5, dead, even. And then I said 197 is high open interest, neutral. So it should have the upward bias as well. So it should help the bulls have the upper hand for the day. And so I said they should build on the stance that they wanted. They stood yesterday. Yesterday I said they only need to show a stance, and they sure did. They held their ground flat. And today they build on that flatness from yesterday. So yesterday they stood their ground. Today they bounced a little bit. So again, the SPY was an exact match to the range. So 196.5, and I said 197 should help, and they failed at 197 minus 6 pennies, and they closed in 196.52. Missed it by 2 pennies. Loser. Okay. Triple Qs. I said bulls want to take it at least to 98 today. This is ahead of the open, where strong support lies. Because the support was at 98, so I thought that they would want to take it there. I said 97 also small support, but nothing. So if 97 was lost, then 95.5 would have been the next stop, which happened yesterday, and we stopped just above that. And I said some resistance at 99. So again, they bounced to the 98, and then they tried to go further, but then they fell short of 99. So we range bounded as well. The RUT, that's the small caps, one of the indices there for the small caps. I said, reminder, that was, you can't trade it today, this week's contracts. But however, this was the only clear winner this week. We definitely had 1080 support and 1060 worst case scenario, and that was solid support, and that's what stopped the markets yesterday, in my opinion. They held the ground. They did not outperform to the downside, so they did not underperform. But today it was clear that they were not going to outperform. Therefore, and indeed they didn't. They closed up 0.76, where all the markets, the broader markets, were over 1%, solidly over 1%, 1.2 something on the Dow. So they did not outperform. We were right there. This is, sorry about the Excel spreadsheet, but this is the easiest way I could do it. Small caps little sister index, IWM versus the RUT. The IWM, my write-up, it says tight triangle, tight range today, 109 support and 110 magnet, but could also be resistance. So what that means is that 109, I think it was like a few pennies higher than 109, the first initial whoosh, up to 110 and overshot, rubber band, remember, and then got slammed right back down because we expected it to. So the 110 was resistance, although a magnet. So it tried to go to it and then failed at it and overshot a little bit down. 109.65. Perfect. So some stock specific ones, Apple and Google, the two favorite ones. Apple today was pissing me off, oops, excuse me, ticking me off because of, it looked like somebody was messing with us, really. It gets 2 downgrades, it shoots to 98 and change after hours yesterday, and then today they shoot it down to 99 and they shoot it back up and try to break 100, and then like what's going on here? 99.8 was not going to fail. 99.85 bounce. Every time the market needed a bounce to maintain that rising wedge, Apple delivered. So it's beyond my pay grade, people. But anyway, what was not beyond my pay grade is saying that we've had a couple of downgrades, and I knew Apple was going to be pivotal today. I said if Apple can shake off the downgrades, then it may help the bulls rally and surprise a lot of the shorts. This was my statement ahead of the morning. I didn't know it was going to shrug off the sell-off. I said 100 and 101 are high open interest, and they are both resistives today. So it was not going to go too far away from that. And sure enough, they tried to peak above 100, but then got slammed and rejected. I said support was spread. There was no line of defense. It was spread between 98 and 95. All this information is good for the week, but I update it daily, so it's very useful information. To me it is. I use it. I refer to my own notes all the time. This is the Goog, and the Goog, I said, not the Google, 570 was neutral, support 565 is the start, better defense but not too convincing. In case of major sell-off, going to be shaky. 560 to 565 range should hold up, and sure enough, it held up, and that worked yesterday as well. And then also it's not going to go too far. 575 stronger resistance, and look at where it closed, 575.28. Okay, so I went long Google for a lotto ticket, by the way, for the earnings debit call spread. Just a lotto, not a full investment through earnings. It's a coin flip. So this was it. This was coverage for one day. If you're interested in data like this, reach out to me. You can follow me I'm at RacerNick on Twitter and StockTwits. Let's see if we make this bigger. And copy paste. And then Sellspreads at gmail.com. Should have this prepared. Come on, automatic. There we go. So Sellspreads at gmail.com, you can hit me there, and I reply to everybody. I don't ignore anyone. And this information is available daily. If you're interested, let me know. Again, this is Nick Shaheen signing off. Thank